I'm Spencer.
And I'm Eric.
And this is The Itch.
Yes! The Itch! Scratch me.
Oh, yeah. I'll scratch the news. How about that?
Okay.
Instead of scratching each other, we got a big news day today. Every Saturday, we get together and we talk about what happened this week. Then we're going to go over... We don't really have any releases, but we have a little topic on releases coming up this week that we're really excited about.
See.
And then we're going to throw in a little review segment of an indie game that I think is important to talk about.
All that on The Itch!
Yeah. I wish we had radio sounds. I'm really pushing that we get those at some point.
Alright, well, there's programs and stuff you can install on your computer to do that. And
really?
Then you can go click, 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 click.
Oh, like a soundboard?
Basically, yeah.
The 21st century is so beautiful.
I know, right?
Oh, what an age we live in. Do you have anything before we start?
Hi, how you doing?
He's talking to the ladies.
No, that's it.
That's
yeah.
Just a shout out to the ladies. All right, let's get started. The first topic we have, the Razer Aatrox, is coming out for the Xbox One.
Yeah.
They're making a fighting game. They already exist and all that stuff. Exactly, yeah, for you pro fighters. They already exist, but it's just interesting that Razer's kind of taking it under their wing and giving it a shot. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I've never really been big into those fighting games, but if I was going to play one, I would want it to be like arcade style.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I'm interested to see what they do. They do a lot of like customization for a player, so I'm interested to see how they take that into that fighting game realm.
Creating macros, so you don't even have to memorize the down left, what is that?
Block, like
down left A or whatever to shoot freeze on Sub-Zero.
Oh, Sub-Zero?
Yeah, down left freeze or down forward freeze, whatever it is.
You know, I never got into all that stuff.
Down forward A.
My favorite fighting game has always been Super Smash Bros., where there are none of those janky combos.
That it got to the point where it's like you had to be skilled, like you had to play a lot to really know.
Yeah.
But it got really confusing for me, like when they added an entire controller and you had X, square, triangle, circle, L1, R1, R2, all that, and then you had R3, and just all these buttons. I'm like, there's so many different combinations this game is looking for me to remember.
Yeah, it's very, very hardcore. Perhaps too hardcore. And the first game that's supposed to really bring this out is Killer Instinct. They're having like a second release of stuff for Killer Instinct.
Oh, yeah?
And that's going to be their big selling point for this right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about, we were talking about this a little bit before the cut.
Yep. Before the scene.
Yeah, that's a little radio talk for you guys. Before we started filming, we were talking about this. The PlayStation Store is having a flash sale that ends on the 14th.
Oh, it ends on the 14th?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I'm wondering if there's a way to get an account going or something before it.
Oh, yeah.
Before it ends.
Okay, so the flash sale. There's a game on it that I really want, and it's actually pushing me to purchase some kind of Sony console or handheld.
Which we'll get into later. That's a spoiler.
So what is the flash sale? What's going on?
The flash sale is 99-cent games.
And what games?
There's a heavy focus on PlayStation 1 games, and I think some indie games. That's kind of what the deal is.
Oh, okay.
The only real good game, I mean, there's good games in there, but the only one that really stood out to me was the one that you were interested in purchasing.
Yeah.
Keep watching, ladies and gentlemen. You'll hear more about it. But I mean, even still, there's a lot of good opportunities to get some lesser-known games and all that kind of stuff going, which I'm obviously very, very excited about.
I moved the camera. Do we have a camera guy? Or is it me?
It's you.
So yeah, I mean the game that I'm actually looking forward to on it. Can I say it now?
You know what? Let's do it.
Okay. All right.
Let's give it to him.
We're at that point in the relationship.
Yeah.
Where I can just say what I feel. Legends of Dragoon is now 99 cents on the flash sale right now. And I was hoping that it would last until Tuesday, because Tuesday there's a new PS Vita bundle coming out. They're releasing the Slim Vita bundled up with Borderlands 2 It has like not the collector's edition, but the Game of the Year edition. So it has like all of the add-ons and all that stuff. It has like all 6 expansion packs. It has a couple extra characters. Comes with a 8 gigabyte memory stick, which he said isn't that much. And then it also comes with 3 months of PlayStation Plus, all for $200. I think it might be like $220. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
it's still worth it.
Yeah, but still way worth it, because if you go to like GameStop or whatever, if you can even find a brand new PS Vita, they'll be selling for $200. So you're basically, for $20 more, you're getting a full game with all of the aftermarket add-on packs that they sold. 3 months of PlayStation Plus, which is worth $20. And then also the memory stick, which is worth like $20 or $30, I think.
Yeah,
so,
the memory sticks are really where they get you on these things.
Yeah, all in all, it's like you're getting $100 worth of their product for the same price. So if you're thinking about going out to buy a PlayStation Vita today or tomorrow, hold off till Tuesday. You might need to pre-order it because it might sell pretty quickly. I don't know. I haven't really seen anything about that, but kind of breaks into the topic that I want to talk about. Should I go into the whole Vita stuff now?
Let's save it for after the news.
Okay. So yeah, Legends of Dragoon, Wild Arms, and Wild Arms 2 are also on that list.
Oh, those 2 are on that list?
Yeah, they're on that list.
I might have to go get those when I get home.
Yep.
Interesting. I didn't see those on the notables. But anyway, awesome. I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the heads up on that.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm glad we give this news to people.
I know.
Otherwise...
we give news to people and apparently ourselves.
Yeah. The next topic I want to talk about is a game called Sins of a Solar Empire. And the issue with it is the subtitle for it, which is Rebellion. Ironclad Studios recently won a lawsuit against them to continue using the word Rebellion in their name against Rebellion Developments, which is a company that makes a lot of shooting games. They're most notable for, they just released Sniper Elite 3, and they're really most notable for, I believe, is Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
A good couple of years back.
Mm-hmm.
They have been fighting because they don't want this company to use the word Rebellion in the name of their game because they're called Rebellion. Man, isn't that weird litigation?
Yeah. That's like... That just doesn't make sense because we don't have that many words.
Yeah.
Like, if any company... It'd be like Bob Dylan saying, like, you can't name your kid Bob because my name's Bob.
Yeah.
There's just... You'd run out of stuff. No. Bad Rebellion. Bad.
Yeah, I really hate that concept of people, and this goes beyond games, but people copywriting words. Mm-hmm. Especially, I mean, if it's a word like...
if you made up the word.
Yeah, if it's like Pikachu, okay.
Yeah.
Like, we won't all use Pikachu in our game. But if it's like Tuesday...
Tuesday!
Or, yeah, it's like an army. Like, you can't use the word army in your game.
Yeah,
like really? How can you copyright the English language?
Yeah, that's just stupid.
Yeah, and I'm glad they lost, but apparently there's ongoing litigation. There's going to be more to it, so it's so silly. I absolutely hate that.
Let's see.
Also, Neversoft. I don't know if you know about Neversoft. They're the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Uh-huh.
They made those games. They made a lot of good games, actually, in their day.
I only know them for Tony Hawk.
Apparently, they're officially closed. I thought they were closed a long time ago.
Me too.
But I guess they've kind of been doing little projects here and there, but officially now they're part of Infinity Ward. So they're just going to be making Call of Duty stuff now.
Way to go. Yay.
I mean, to be honest...
Map packs.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe that's what they were making at the time anyway. I mean, Tony Hawk's been dead for a while now.
He's not dead.
Well, yeah, the man himself lives on.
Oh, it's a video game.
But the video games have, they haven't really been a thing in a long time, so I'm not too bummed about that. But just looking back, I really, really love those games.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, Tony Hawk, the first one I got for the N64, and it Musically, it was big because it was one of those first games that really came out and pushed these like alternative playlists and games. But also gameplay, man, what a fun game!
Yeah,
wow,
it was a lot of fun. I think I got into it. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 was the one that I picked up on.
That might have even been better than the first. That was a very good game.
Yeah. I think I remember playing... I think I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 more, but it was because it was just better graphics.
Yeah,
But Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, I think I enjoyed a lot more. Chad Muska, my boy.
I remember that. I was always... I think he was in 2, but I was always Rodney Mullen. He was always my favorite. My brother was huge into skateboarding. I was not. I tried. I skated for like 1 month. I learned how to ollie.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is way too hard and way too complex to be outside. And we live in Arizona, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense just to be a good skater out here.
Yeah. I wasn't great. I think I learned a couple, like 4 or 5 different tricks. And then thought I was awesome and decided to go try a bull. Like, try to do the bull.
Yeah.
And it's a funny story. There was this he was probably like 6 or 7 years old kid.
Oh.
He was just rolling, like he was just wrecking this bull. Like he was going nuts on it. And I'm like, wow, okay, he can do it, I can do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm looking down, it's like 6 feet deep. I'm looking down, I'm like, yeah, I got this. I drop in. I didn't get my back foot on the tail.
Oh.
I put my foot on the wall, and it snapped my ankle, and I broke it.
No, you broke your ankle at a bowl?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
my
was.
God.
It hurt pretty bad. And then I didn't think I broke it. I thought I just sprained it or something, or just tweaked it. So after I climbed out of the bowl, because that's the other crappy part about getting hurt in a bowl. It's 6 feet up. I'm 5'10", so I still have to get up, and then like it's a slope.
Yeah.
With a busted ankle, I can only get 1 foot up there. So it was really hard to get out of that thing, but I got out, walked over to the entrance place, laid down, and then went to football practice that afternoon.
With like a broken ankle?
I didn't realize it was broken, but yeah, it was broken. So I'm playing football, and then 3 days later we had a game, and I did a spin move on my right ankle, the one I broke.
Yeah.
And a guy fell into it, and I re-broke it again, but this time it like went the other direction. So it broke out one way, and then when I got hit the other way, it broke in the other way. So it like fractured and splintered. So
do you not know, like, does it just hurt a lot, but you can still move with a broken ankle? The way I figured it would be like unusable.
Well, you don't really bend your ankle all that much. I mean, you do, but like when you have your adrenaline going, like you're running,
yeah,
you kind of don't feel those kind of things. Like when you get enough adrenaline moving, it kind of removes pain. So,
having never had adrenaline, I can only assume that's what would happen.
Okay. So we kind of got off subject there talking about my personal health history with stuff.
But hey, no, I mean that's the thing. Getting back into the fighting game mix, EVO 2014 began in Las Vegas, I think on Friday, might have been Saturday.
What's EVO?
It is the largest fighting game tournament ever held.
Oh, okay. So is there specific games they play?
Tons of games.
All of them?
All of them.
So they have different brackets for like each video game?
They even have Super Smash Bros. Melee to tell you how far back they're reaching. I mean, any game, any system, fight it.
Wow.
Duke it out.
Fight!
You should do the voices for that. I can't hit those crazy guttural sounds. This game I'm pretty excited for. Final Fantasy Explorers for the 3DS. A 4-player RPG is coming out.
A 4-player RPG.
Played online with friends.
So is it kind of... immediately the first one that came to mind is Zelda
Four Swords?
Four Swords, yeah. But in that one, they're all controlled by the computer, right? Except for your one character.
Well, you can have friends control the other 3.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
So it's kind of similar then?
Kind of. This one's more like a Final Fantasy type of game because it has jobs and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, the job class thing.
I'm not sure. I didn't quite get the details if it was turn-based or not. I hope it is, but it probably won't be. But I hope it is.
I would kill my friends. I've been playing Hearthstone with some of my friends. I cannot stand playing with them because you have like 30 or 40 seconds in between each of your turns. And I'll usually make my decision within 5 to 10 seconds, if that. And I have two of my friends that I play with takes them 45 seconds to choose.
Oh my!
And can you imagine doing like turn-based with that?
Yeah.
Like people think it's slow already, and then you include like everybody being slow, like everyone taking their time with it. If someone's like waiting for someone else to have a turn, so they go grab a bag of Doritos and they're munching on chips, they're watching something else, they don't pay attention. Oh, it's my turn. That could be horrible.
Yeah. So I mean, I hope it's turn-based, and I'll get into a system later that I'll explain to you because there's a game that I just started playing that I'm really excited about that is turn-based and multiplayer. We'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
But we'll see how it is. Obviously, it's going to be a kiddie game.
Yeah.
But RPGs are fundamentally statistics. So I love just playing with statistics. So if it's fun enough, I'm down.
Give me an Excel spreadsheet, damn it.
Yeah, that's really all it is, isn't it? We've been playing Excel spreadsheets all our lives.
Yep.
The next topic, GameStop is planning to start paying developers to create content for them in their games. It's interesting. They've mentioned that they will not, and they've stressed this many times, I guess, they will not tell the developers what to put into the content, just that they make it.
Okay, so basically buy from us to get extra content.
Yeah.
So
what I think, I'm sure there's something going into detail about this, but what I think is that it's like you have a play card, right? And so you use that account information in your game or something, and then it unlocks the feature. So you have to be a play member to use it or something. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand because in my mind, what I'm seeing is like costumes and like just extra playable characters in.
It's supposed to be content, like real playable,
like content. Levels and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's supposed to be. I definitely see the skins and all that crap going on.
I'm going further and further away from actually getting a full product, like a full game when I purchase it. So not only do I have to purchase add-ons and expansion packs and all that stuff, like all the, what's that stuff called? The downloadable content?
Yeah.
DLC. Not only do I have to buy DLC, but I also have to buy from GameStop if I want to get 100% of what was developed for this video game.
Yes.
Not that it's going to cost more from GameStop. I mean, it could, depending on like about Amazon or
with
sales.
With the inherent cost of you buying a play card, those cost money, right? Their membership.
Oh, their power up rewards system. I think it's like $12 a year or something. Like
which obviously isn't crazy, but there is inherent cost in that.
Yeah, true.
But I mean, yeah, exactly. It's moving towards when you buy a game, you're now buying a fraction of a game.
Yeah. I mean, this is putting another slice in that pie. Like, you have your 100%, and now you would buy 50 or 75% of a game because you have to go with the 25% DLC that would come out in the next 9 months.
Yeah.
Side note, really pisses me off when DLC is out like within the first month of the game going live.
Oh yeah.
Like that just completely pisses me off. But going back to the original point, the 100% pie. You have 75% of the game, 25% DLC. Well, now you have, I don't know, 10% with purchase. You have to purchase through GameStop, and then not only that. What if other companies do this? What if Best Buy now creates a exclusive content deal?
Well, and there's one more, console specific
exclusivity.
Yeah, whatever Eric just said. That's what we're going to go with. If you buy a PS4 and you play your game on it, you get PS4 content. If you buy an Xbox, you get Xbox content.
I forgot about that.
If you get a Wii, you get no content.
Yeah. Shove it, Nintendo. Yeah, that's...
It's getting to where you buy a game and you're getting 60% of the game that you bought.
You will never get the full game.
unless you buy it 3 times. I saw somebody on YouTube buying Doom 3 like 3 different times. They got it for the PlayStation, the Xbox, and then the computer.
I respect for you, bro. You love your video games, but damn, that's a lot of money.
What is this Doom?
Like, with every game that comes out, you buy it for every system. Like, I wouldn't. It would be like in World of Warcraft. Like for me, that's primarily the game I play.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like creating one of every race, of every class. Like, it's so little's changing. Like, just the racial ability would be changing.
Yeah, it'd be like if they released. They decided that you couldn't play Draenei or Draenei, however you pronounce it. You could only play that if you had a Mac, and you were playing on a Mac.
That's so... Stop it!
Yeah, right? Like, how frustrating is this for gamers, man? I don't like it.
Really shitting on us. Like, I didn't even think about the system-specific stuff. I was just thinking store and DLC, but now that you throw system...
bullshit, right?
Yeah, like, now you throw in system, it's like... How you were talking a little while ago, you don't really care for GameStop because they don't really give anything back to the developers because they sell used copies. And used copies, the developer doesn't get any kickback.
Right.
So,
well, I guess this is their way of giving the developer something. But what I foresee
but
is...
it's giving something and getting something, so it's an even exchange.
Right.
So they're not really giving back.
And what I foresee, and they're not going to tell you this on the upper part, but the fine print of this, I sort of feel is that 10% of a game that they're creating just for GameStop is coming out of the 10% that would have been in the game originally. You know what I'm saying?
Because they would have spent the time.
Yeah, developers still have a set amount of time that they have to complete something. They're not just going to say, okay, we'll just go 110% for this game.
So this is what happens. Developers sit down, they say, we have 3 years to make this game. All right. 3 years goes by, they have 100% of the game, and they go, okay, now we're going to cut out this chunk, and this chunk, and this chunk. This one's going to be DLC, this one's going to be GameStop, this one's going to be, console specific. Like, so this one goes this direction, this one goes that direction. So they have to create 100% of this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the very end, they go, okay, we're now going to... I'm pissing myself off explaining this.
It's really lame.
But I always, in my mind, it was always, oh, they created the video game and then they had a separate team start creating additional content. But when you're talking about console stuff, that's on go live date. Specific content is available on go live date.
Yep.
This GameStop stuff will be available on go live date. So they're immediately, they're creating at least that, if not DLC maybe. Like, they might have finished it or they might be still working on it. But we know for a fact that the console-specific stuff and the store-specific stuff was made and then just cut out of the goddamn game!
Yeah.
What the fuck?!
Yeah, I know. Oh, boy.
Like, seriously, this is... I'm enraged right now.
This is an
I am furious!
This is an itch right here that might need further scratching at some point.
I need cream now! Okay, can we move on?
Okay.
Before I just get up and start banging on the drums. The war drums?
Yeah.
The drums of war.
Congratulations goes out to Ubisoft. Watch Dogs has sold 8 million copies plus. So it's very, very successful.
Oh, yeah, congratulations. On your shitty game.
Expect sequels. Yeah, that's kind of Ubisoft's thing.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just somebody that likes Assassin's Creed. But I don't know, some people tend to like it. It just looked like a Grand Theft Auto clone to me. But
yeah, that's all I saw. The Assassin's Creed series, I actually think it's pretty cool. Like, I actually saw a comment today as I was looking up PS Vita stuff. There's a comment about this guy saying, you know what? I'm going to deprive my kid of all history classes and make him play all the Assassin's Creed and then send him into school and see what he gets on a test.
Interesting.
I'm thinking to myself, wow, that's a shitty father.
Yeah.
He's doing experiments on his children.
Yeah.
But it would be interesting to actually see, if you really played the game and you really read everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be hard to determine what's actually real and what's the Animus Project and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, actually playing in the time of the history.
I would say just leave it to the education system, not Arizona's. Hey, go up north or something. Go to the east side if you want to compare. But that's an interesting concept. 2013, this is an interesting statistic. 2013 had $12.5 billion in acquisitions of video game companies.
Really?
What this means is that many game companies or properties or anything like that have been bought out in 2013. And another interesting point is that about 4.5 billion, 4 billion, something like that, of those dollars were phone games.
A third was phone games.
Mm-hmm. And another third was MMOs.
Really?
MMORPGs, yep.
I wouldn't really expect like MMOs to be like a topic anymore. I kind of think like I feel like I've been playing MMOs like primarily. I don't really feel like they should be in the limelight right now. Like I don't really think that they're doing anything spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand the I mean, I understand the selling everything off, but why it's being acquired.
I'm not sure. I think people are really excited about the free-to-play concept. I think that's kind of where the phone ones come into play as well.
Yeah. Well, the whole mobile phone thing. Our phones are amazing. Like the graphics cards you can get into them now, the processors, the RAM, all that stuff. Our phones are at that cusp of like PS1 going into PS2, like that same feeling. Where we started dabbling around with PS1 games, we're like, wow, these can be really awesome, and then PS2 came out, and you were like, holy crud. Like, I have that feeling that, I don't even want to say years, like, maybe like 6 to 18 months, we're going to see a game hit phones, or a new phone's going to come out. That's just it's going to be a handheld PSP, or PS Vita.
I mean, not to say that I think these people are the leaders of gaming on phones, but Apple just released their the iPhone 5S, and that's got a 64-bit architecture to it.
Oh.
So I mean, that's obviously everyone's just going to copy that. So pretty soon they're all going to have 64-bit architecture, which is what my PC at home is.
Yeah.
So.
Actually, that was another thing too. If you go to the PlayStation.com website, I was looking at that today. They actually have PlayStation Mobile. And you can actually download games that are specifically for your mobile phone. And they actually have, I don't remember the name of the game, but it looked, started with an F. Anyways, it looked like old school like PS1 graphics. And it was a turn-based RPG, full-on story and all that stuff. Like I think it was like $15 or something. But they're already developing these like full content games, but they just don't have that appealing graphics. But if the 64-bit architecture's coming, then...
oh, yeah. And people can already emulate PS2 games and GameCube games on them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the power's there.
Oh, yeah. The graphics, I've noticed, sometimes it's not as great on the graphics. Like, it's a little choppy, or it, like, lags out, or whatever. But, if they can just bump the graphics up, and then I think if they bump the RAM up also, I think those are the two things that I would say. Because the Snapdragon, what are we on? I don't remember the full-on specifics of the processor, but I think the processor is fine on like my Nexus 5, or I have a Nexus 4, but like the Nexus 5, that one, the processor on it's great. The RAM on it, I think it needs to be doubled, and then the video card. Once we can figure out how to get 4 gigabytes of RAM into a phone.
They're doing that, I believe, with the Note 4.
Oh.
I think so.
Okay, so here we go. Here's my predictions. We put 4 gigs of RAM, we use our current processors, and we upgrade the video card, the GPU that's in the phones, and you'll be playing PS Vita style video games on your phone. And they'll start creating those, well, they've already started creating, but those controller editions that like makes your phone feel like it's a controller.
That would
a handheld.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's coming out. The only other thing too is the battery life. I mean, I think it would be good enough to run this kind of stuff, but not for long. Mm-hmm. Like it wouldn't be like how right now you have your PSP, you have it out for 4 hours and you play that, or your DS, you play for 4 hours. I don't think that these at 100% would be able to last 4 hours. I feel like it would last like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Maybe with the addition controller thing, they can add like a battery thing. You know?
Oh, the
charger.
lightning, the beam chargers. You know those pads that you put down and it charges.
Yeah.
You would have that. Yeah, you would have that controller expansion with one of those beam pads on it, and you would charge the controller mold, and then you would put it on. Once you attached it, it beamed the. Yeah.
Be an expensive accessory, but it'd be worth it if you could do all that.
I'd pay $100 for that.
Oh yeah, easy.
Yeah. But yeah, dude. Like, so $12.5 billion in acquisition of other companies.
Yeah. So that kind of shows you what the big companies are looking for are mobile games.
Mobile games, MMOs, and what was the other third? It was just
other crap. Like I think consoles was like the least.
Yeah. Well, we definitely are moving away from that because consoles have slowly over the years just becoming PCs. Like that's really what they're coming to. So the PC has always. I see PC gaming being sooner or later. Every video game you see on a Xbox One or PS4, every game will be available on PC, especially Xbox. Like any game that's created on Xbox,
it might as well be.
They might as well just add it to the PC. That'll, I don't want to say double their sales, but it'll increase their sales.
And that's what they did with Titanfall.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, if it's the same infrastructure and everything, and if it's just porting, it's completely doable. Microsoft, you should be doing that. I don't know why you've waited so long to do that. But get that going, and I'll be a lot happier because then I'm just gonna buy a PC and a PS4, and then I have everything.
That'll be good.
Everything that matters.
You're missing one console here, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The next topic is Samsung. Speaking of phone type of stuff, Samsung is working with Oculus VR to make its own virtual reality headset.
Oh.
It's supposed to debut at IFA or IFA, I don't know what the nerds are calling it, 2014. Should see that pretty soon.
That's actually... So where do you see video gaming going down right now? Like, what avenues do you see? Because in my mind, we're kind of at a crossroad in video gaming right now. I feel that there's really two things that we can really pursue right now. Kind of like when Nintendo introduced the Wii Motion stuff and the actual physical activity.
Yeah.
The entire marketing ploy and all the business went towards motion tracking.
God, I hated that.
Yeah.
I hated that so much.
Me too. It all went towards that. But that's kind of how it goes. Like, one person has an idea and then everyone kind of goes that direction. They see where the end of the road is, and then they start their next venture. I think right now, in my opinion, there's two different directions we can go in the gaming industry. And the two are, for me, is VR and streaming.
Okay.
Those are the two avenues that I can see happening right now.
Streaming, VR obviously is when you see it through here.
Mm-hmm.
Streaming is you playing it from a remote location.
So it would be like a Netflix style gaming.
Yeah.
So like it's a huge catalog that you have full access to because you're paying $150 a year, like something ridiculous like that, like GameFly, but it's all streaming. So you never actually have a hard copy. You can purchase them for like collector's purposes, but
yeah,
if they pursue that avenue, I foresee CDs going away.
Good.
I foresee them going away, and those becoming the collector's editions. So if people really want if they really want the hard copy, that's going to be considered a collector's edition, and the price will probably go to the $80 mark or the $100 mark or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're going to want to stop producing those because that's costing them a lot of money to make all these CDs, which then influences GameStop to then sell them as used copies. To where if they switch over to the streaming feature, they would just open up their catalog, pay their $25 a month or whatever, and they would have access to their video games. And then...
Now you say their video games. Are you saying they're going to buy the video games?
No, well,
or you think they're going to get like Netflix where here's a bunch of games?
What I think or what they should do?
Let's do both. What do you think is going to happen?
What I think is going to happen is they're going to make us purchase, and it's going to be our own catalog. And the games will stay at $60 a pop. They'll go on sale, much like Steam. There'll be sales like that constantly. But I have a feeling that the PlayStation Network or Xbox One is going to switch over to more of a Steam model style of video gaming.
Okay.
To where they provide you a list of every game that they want to create or they have created, and you can purchase them and then buy them on sale, all that stuff, get them cheaper prices and stuff, because it's digital copies. They can flux their pricing a lot more and still make profit.
Yeah, which I've been moving for a long time.
Yeah. So it's most likely if they pursue the streaming thing, I foresee a Steam business model.
I absolutely foresee a Steam business model. And what's funny too is, remember earlier this year Microsoft had that whole DRM scare where they're telling everybody that the Xbox would always be online, and and everyone hated them for it, and there's all this backlash. That's going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Maybe next generation or something, but that's on the way.
Yeah,
always online.
They kind of just wanted to pioneer that and jump the gun on it, and I don't think we as gamers were ready to accept that. But much like anything, if you put a frog in a pot and you then slowly increase the heat, he's not going to realize he's boiling.
Yeah.
It's kind of how you have to approach a lot of business models, not just video games.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to slowly change before you can just jump into things. People don't like that. But the other thing I also think is going to happen with the streaming feature, they're going to do the Steam business model, but because they already charge a subscription fee, you're only going to have access to purchase video games if you pay for the online subscription, which is much like what's going on now. So that's where I think the subscription fee will come in, where you can still, if you've purchased games, you can still play them if you've purchased them, but if you actually want to continue shopping, you're going to have to pay to have access to their catalog and to go online with your console. So it's a little different. That's what I see them doing. What I think they should do, just adopt the full Steam client thing, stop selling CDs, make the collector's editions of them. So for people if they want to do that, and remove DLC.
Ooh, and just keep updating the game.
And keep updating the game, because now you don't have to worry about when you sell the hard copy CD, you don't have to worry about them. You bought version 1.0 of this video game and we're at version 2.7, so your disc is outdated.
Yeah.
Because now the file they just have to upload. Their FTP site. They just have to update the file and good to go.
They just patch it now. Just all patches.
Yup.
Yeah, I pretty much foresee the Steam model taking over. I think if we force people to pay for it, there's going to be an outrage. And especially with Steam Box coming. Maybe it might be down the road that everyone just kind of starts throwing money into it, but at first, I don't think anyone's going to get away with paying monthly.
So do you think the VR business ploy is going to happen, or do you think the Steam streaming?
Well, the Steam for sure. VR, I don't know, man. I think VR is going to get a bad rap for a while. Kind of like, hard to say.
Like 3D TVs?
I kind of like that, yeah. Well, but in the same way that it's going to destroy people's eyes because we're not used to it yet, and they're not going to make it health conscious for a while. Be careful with those things. But also, virtual reality. What do you think the number one industry is going to be for a virtual reality machine? If I could make something real.
What do video gamers really want to do that they never really get a chance to?
Could you see you plug in your virtual reality headset, and let's say there is a Steam for it. yeah. I'm going like this, but it's really like that. I plug it, and there's a Steam on my virtual reality thing. When I type in like what's new or what should I get, what do you think is going to be in flashing lights everywhere on the side, on the top, popping up?
this kind of goes apart. But yeah, so we're getting at that it's going to be porn. Like 3D porn is going to be like one of the number one sellers, which I don't disagree. I probably, I mean, the porn industry is a huge deal. So, but that's, to me, that it's just kind of like, when you have a TV, what do? Do you watch movies? Do you watch porn? What do you do? I think it's going to be an aspect of this VR thing, but I don't think it's going to be the sole focus. And actually going on to that advertisement stuff, Google is actually doing this huge push to remove all rated R kind of advertisement from like everything.
Really?
Yeah, they're I don't remember the exact numbers on what they were doing or what sites they were removing it from. I think it was actually the search filter.
Really?
Like they were removing like everything from that advertisement thing. So I yeah.
I think
more to say about that.
Eventually it's where we have to head. It's the only thing I can think of where we could head.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's going to be a lot of growing pains.
Oh yeah.
With this.
So there's a TV series called Sword Art Online, kind of like Dot Hack. We've talked about it before. It has a VR helmet that you put on, and it's like you feel everything, like it connects to your nervous system and stuff. So if you think it in the game, you do it. I think that, I mean, this is definitely on that kind of path. I think it's awesome. I think it would be really cool to do, to actually like be in your video game. Like, can you imagine World of Warcraft flying all over the place, like flying over this world, like, and that actually feeling real?
That would be intense.
I would get on my magic carpet and just be like, I can show you the world. Shine.
Oh, your voice. Oh, it just, I got goosebumps.
But yeah, so you embarrassed me. You made me bashful. So
I know that most of that song, by the way.
I have it on the guitar. I can play it on.
Oh.
It was like one of my acoustic, like, I'm that guitar guy at the party.
Yeah.
Like, I would play that song.
You got your flip flops. You're bringing the girls over.
Yep. Got my nasty hippie hair going on. Anyways, totally getting off subject this show. We cannot stay on track.
Yeah.
So the VR thing, I don't want to go that path right now. I don't think we should. I think we're going to dabble in it and play with it. But it's definitely going to be, I think it's going to hit movies before it hits video games.
Oh, it's interesting. Movies.
I have a feeling that it's going to hit that demographic first, that business first, before video games. Because video games, you're not, like, in a movie you're just showing somebody, you're guiding them through something. They're on a very set path. But in video games, we have exploration, we have freedom. It's a lot more variables to deal with.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's not doable, but I just foresee that movies will become VR first before video games do. And while there are some like handheld video games and stuff, I just can't see I could see handheld systems becoming VR, but not consoles.
Yeah.
Like PC even, I can't see. Well, PC maybe, because it's more of a solo thing. Like consoles to me are like the thing you do with a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And having enough helmets for all your friends to wear to play Madden doesn't add up. Like, it's just be way too expensive. So like handheld systems when you're playing by yourself, or PC you're playing by yourself, I can see that happening, but not for console gaming.
It's interesting. Might be a fun topic to go into in the future.
Yeah, actually this show so far, there's been quite a few topics that I've been very interested in.
Yeah.
It's going to make me want to do a lot more research when we get off.
Oh yeah. Project Spark has been announced to launch on October 7th.
And Spark is the Xbox version of 3D Minecraft? Like,
I guess
better graphic to Minecraft?
No, I don't think it's supposed to be after Minecraft, but I know what you mean. I think it's more like a create your own game / machinima maker type of thing.
Okay.
So it's interesting. It's not something I'm going to delve into. They marketed it with Conquer.
I love that little furry bastard.
Yeah, but it's clearly a kid's Like the Project Spark is for kids, and if anyone who knew Conker back in the day, it was not for kids.
No, Conker is not a kid-friendly dude.
It's kind of annoying that they would choose to use him as like the flagship.
I mean, Banjo-Kazooie. Throw him in there.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
And so I didn't even think about that, but that would have been so much better in so many ways to put Banjo-Kazooie in that role. And they chose Conker.
Banjo to me was like the opposite of Conker.
Oh yeah.
Like they came out around the same time on the Nintendo 64. Banjo-Kazooie and then Conker Bad Fur Day. Yeah. They both came out about the same time, and Conker was like the vulgar, dirty, inappropriate character. And Banjo didn't say a goddamn word.
Yeah.
Like, they were just completely opposite. Like, was it Conker collected chocolate for health, and Banjo collected honey?
It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure that's how it went. But then, like, Conker would talk about pooping and telling people to fuck off. And, like, there was a boss in Conker who sang a song about how he's made of poo. And I'm going to put that in the description of this video. Because that is a freaking hilarious boss. But yeah, he's hilarious. Hilarious game.
Yeah. So it's just weird that they would pick that. But if you're interested in Project Spark, October 7th, it's coming out. So gear up for it.
Yeah.
This one is interesting. Dragon Quest X, I think I told you about it a little bit ago.
Yeah, you did.
MMORPG.
Yeah.
For the PC. No. For the Wii, I think it's for the Wii U. Might be for the PC. I can't even remember. But it's coming to the 3DS. In Japan only. It's coming out for the 3DS. So, with that, I was pretty interested in... The way that they're going to do it, too, is it's not going to be a game in and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be taking it from, like, a site... that you then play that site on your 3DS. It's really weird.
Wait.
So...
that sounds really... Yeah, that sounds really weird.
Because the 3DS itself probably isn't really set up to handle an MMORPG.
But also, like... So the 3DS, it has online video games already. Like, it has, like, I think Ragnarok, right? Or no, that's the PSP or Vita. Yeah, I can't think of any.
But I thought that was interesting. But what I really was excited about was the concept of MMORPGs on the go, on a mobile device.
Yeah.
How much fun would that be? If they could, but granted, they're so complex.
Not really. Like, are you talking gameplay-wise? Like,
yeah.
What you have to do in the game?
Gameplay-wise...
Not really anymore.
You think they could adapt it for a...
Yeah, because if you look at, like, Guild Wars, you have 6 buttons. I think you have maybe 8 abilities that you have to cast. Other than that, you're just running around in circles. Same with Final Fantasy XIV. They adapted it to console.
Mm-hmm.
And...
That's true.
I mean, but, like, WoW, I have 32 buttons macroed.
Right.
Like, keybound. That's way too many things to, like... I'm going to hold triangle and hold L1 and then hit circle so that I can cast heal. Like, that would be, like, way too many different combinations to fit 32 combos into a single controller.
Yeah.
Especially, like, a DS or PSP, PS Vita.
That would be tricky.
Yeah, that would be a pain. But the Final Fantasy XIV and the Guild Wars and... What was the other one? WildStar that came out?
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of abilities. Like, you spec and talent differently to change your core 6 to 8 abilities. So, if you think about it, L1, R1, 8? There's 8 flat buttons.
Yeah, there really aren't too many.
So if you hold L1 down, or if you hold trigger down and hit square, it does one thing. If you let go of L1 and hit square, it does a different thing. That's 8 buttons right there.
I'm all for these companies to start trying to adapt it to a mobile market.
Uh-huh.
I mean, remember the story we were talking about a little bit ago? The two big markets were
MMO and mobile.
MMO and mobile. If you combine them, I mean...
We just solved it, Watson.
but like,
wait, you'd be Sherlock, I'd be Watson.
Yeah. Wait, really? I don't know. We won't get into that. The hierarchy type of stuff. That'll be awkward. But anyway, just how interesting would that be if they could make that mobile? And also, you put things on the side of like buy this or whatever in a console or whatever, we ignore it, or in a computer and we ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have the apps or stuff like on your phone, ready to like one click away and you have it, how anxious are people to just buy stuff? Like, how many apps do people have on their phones? There's tons.
Yeah, and then you pay extra cost or whatever to remove the ads from it.
Yeah. I mean,
like, yeah.
I see that market as being huge, so I'm all for it, especially for like a 3DS or a PS Vita type of thing. If they could make an MMORPG work, I'd be way more hooked than if I had it on my console.
True, yeah, because actually one of the things, like for me, like I play MMOs primarily. I play a lot of PC games. One of the things I've really missed since I haven't had a console in a little while, I miss laying on the couch and just playing video games.
Yeah.
And MMOs are very restrictive to where you have to pretty much sit at a computer chair and play the video game. Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy XIV was the first one where they actually put it on the console, so where you could lay on the couch and just play the game. Taking that a step further, I want to lay in bed at night when I'm going to sleep, instead of reading a book, I want to play a handheld game. Well, what if they integrated it all?
Oh.
What if you could purchase this game and play it on your PC, console, or your handheld, or your phone?
Here's my mind right now. Can I show you what my mind is?
Yeah.
And then here's what it is after you said that. It's like, whoa! Yeah, blown. Complete integration. I love it.
That would be like, okay, I'm just going to tell you guys right now. If you made it so that I could purchase one license, one video game, and I could play it on all four of those options, I had all four options, I would pay $100.
For the game?
Yeah. I would pay $100 per video game if I had access to all of that avenue. Because then, if I'm at work and I'm on lunch, and I'm like, oh man, it would be really cool if I could log in and go do a dungeon right now. Or if I could log in and go do some mining while I'm sitting here doing nothing. Just something to kill my brain for a little bit.
Yeah.
Pull out my phone and start playing. What if I'm at the dentist and I'm like, oh man, they pushed back my appointment an hour. Well, I'm not going to drive all the way home, so I'm going to sit here in the office. What am I going to do? Play some crappy Peggle game on my phone, or am I going to play an MMO and kick some ass?
That'd be great.
Dude. So, this episode, man, has so much...
There's content.
Gems.
A lot of real big news, big gems here going on.
A lot of ideas.
And the last story I wanted to cover today was the PC Connect will be coming out in the 15th. So in actually 2 days. They're releasing Connect for the PC, so that it's not tethered to Xbox anymore. Okay. I've never used Connect before, but it sounds like a fun toy.
I have a weird ghost story about Connect.
Woo!
So actually, I'm sitting previously before I rearranged this room. There's a den room right behind the camera that I would sit my computer at. And then on this wall to my right here, I had a TV set up with the Kinect and Xbox and couches in here. And my brother was on Netflix. And there's a Kinect going, and we were both completely quiet. We weren't talking to each other, we weren't doing anything. I was playing video games over there, clicking away. And he's just sitting there, just staring, searching for a movie. He's flipping through the thing. And with the Kinect, if you wave your hand, you can move the Netflix screen and select your movie. As we're sitting there, and at the bottom right, there's a little black and white screen that shows you what it's tracking.
Right, I think I've seen that before, yeah.
There was this weird thing where this white ball just started floating around, and then the Kinect caught onto it. It grabbed onto it, and it started cycling through movies.
No way.
And it, I wish I remembered the exact title still, but it found nothing but horror movies.
Oh my god.
It was like A Ghost in the Closet. And it was the movie title would be Ghost in the Closet. It's oh. And he's like, Eric? I'm like, what? He's like, look at this. I'm like, what's going on? and it's like it comes up like a movie title was like it would select a movie or it'd highlight a movie that like answered our question.
No, like a Ouija board.
It was like a Ouija board, dude. It was so freaking creepy. Like,
I think you just wrote Paranormal Activity 5.
I think I did. But it was so creepy because it was like, what's going on? It was like the movie title, A Lost Girl, and I'm like, oh, and it's like, then it like switched over to, I'm like, well, why is it changing all these things? It's like murder them all. And I'm like, ah! I was I have chills right now. I have goosebumps because it really freaked me out.
Then it moved to the 2007 classic Buy More Cheez-Its.
Yeah, but it literally like moved, answering our questions like a Ouija board, and it was like it was a little girl and a ghost and murder and it was something about like what I remember of it was like my mother killed me kind of thing.
Oh my god!
Like it was weird.
Do you know the history of this house?
Built in 2006, lived in by a police officer until
his daughter was murdered.
Dun dun dun. No, they didn't have any kids.
No.
Yeah, they were the only previous owners.
That's interesting. That's so creepy.
Yeah, it really scared the crap out of me. And we actually got to the point where it happened again, and I immediately just went and unplugged it. Like, no, I didn't even want to know what was going to happen next, but I just saw the white line.
She was giving you clues.
Nope, sorry, lady, nope. So, yeah.
Sorry, lady. Sorry, ghost lady. I'm done with you.
Yep. Do you remember that typewriter ghost? Like back in the day, like we were probably like 6, and they had that typewriter ghost that helped them solve mysteries, like those teenagers.
No.
Oh god, I can't remember the name of the show, but it was a ghost that would use a typewriter to communicate with the kids, and that would help them solve mysteries, murder mysteries.
No, I'm glad that I never did see this because I was a terrified child.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I couldn't sleep through anything, even Disney movies. I couldn't watch them. Too scary.
Yeah, dude. That's what it reminded me of. Was that TV show where like it was trying to communicate? I'm like, nope, unplug. So Connect on the PC, don't really care.
Yeah.
What I do care about though is the 15th, and I'm gonna say it again. PS Vita comes out. Well, it's a console bundle. Comes out with the full Borderlands 2, all DLC and everything. Comes with an 8 gig memory card and 3 months of PlayStation Plus. $200-ish, $220. Comes out this Tuesday.
Get it. I have been looking into getting one, so the right deal comes around, I might get one too.
Yeah.
I wanted to give a shout out to a game real quick. It's called Divinity. I don't remember what the subtitle is of it.
Divine Soul. I'm just taking a guess.
Probably. That'd be the word. Just adding the name of the title into the subtitle. But it's really good. If you're a Dungeons and Dragons fan, ever sat around and played it at all or know anything about it, it's pretty much that, but online with other people.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, you have my D6 and my D4. Can you get that back to me?
Yeah. But I mean, for the losers that play that stuff, you can play with one other person. Apparently the developers are working on getting 4 people. Don't know why they didn't do that from the start, but and it's turn-based. And it's online with other people. And you have a huge timer, and you have to go fast or else you'll skip your turn and all this crap. It's
so it skips turns, okay.
Yeah, it'll skip your turn. It's hard. The game is very hard. So I totally recommend it. I didn't want to talk about it too much, but just fantastic game. Complete Kickstarter. Like, started on Kickstarter and got everything going. So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Nice.
Cool. As far as games coming out this last week, there weren't anything mentionable really, unless you really like One Piece, the anime thing.
Oh god, yeah, Stretchy Pirate.
Yeah, Stretchy Pirate guy saves the day with coconuts and guns. I don't know what that is about, but that kind of crap came out. But nothing too crazy, nothing too interesting. Did you have anything before I go on with a review?
Nope, really just that PS Vita stuff, and then my VR and streaming stuff. That was really all I really want to talk about.
Gotcha. I want to do a quick review of the game Two Brothers. It was a indie game. There's a lot of indie games that are kind of coming out these days. And this game was pretty interesting, and I'm going to put it in the good category, not the great category.
Wait, what was the game called again?
Two Brothers.
We're happy and we're not and we're brothers.
Again, goosebumps from that voice.
Oh.
But Two Brothers is a story about two brothers, and one's younger, one's older, and they're trying to save their dad who's sick. And it's set in like a fable, basically. Imagine the land of fable. It's set in that.
Magic, sorcery.
Yeah.
Sword and shield.
Sword and shield. The thing is, there's no weapons. The game takes about 4 hours. One brother's controlled with the left stick, one brother's controlled with the right stick. And it's kind of like a platformer type of game. And you have to kind of maneuver your way through the game. And there's pretty clever puzzles involving two people.
What's the bitrate on it? Like, what's the graphics quality?
Graphics are not powerful, but the art style works.
Okay.
The art style pulls off some pretty amazing visuals, but just looking at it themselves, they're not very impressive.
Gotcha.
I enjoyed it.
So is it like Super Nintendo, but like?
Oh no, it's definitely current gen.
Oh, okay.
But it's just not the high end of it. It's definitely lower. Maybe last gen.
Okay.
Maybe last gen, but it's very good. And you kind of have to go through it just with the two brothers solving puzzles to kind of make your way to the end of the game. The brothers never say any English. They talk in kind of like Simish, like the Sim voice, where you never really know what they're saying, but their expressions kind of help you understand it.
Gotcha.
Again, it's 4 hours long. It ends in kind of a predictable way, but it also in a really clever way, because the clever part of this game is you're using two joysticks to control them, and at first you suck, because what game have you controlled where you play it like this?
Yeah, there's a learning curve.
But as the story progresses and the boys work together, you also work together with your fingers to kind of find that unity where you can play it together. It's real impressive how they kind of got all this through, because there's really only two buttons in the game. You have the two sticks, and then you have the R and L buttons to kind of accomplish things. So the genius of it is that, again, you grow with the game, and at the very end there's a really great twist at the very end of the game that kind of happens, and that really helps you. So the only problem is that the ending is kind of predictable.
Yeah.
A lot of games.
I don't always think that endings being predictable is a bad thing, though.
Yeah, I mean, to its credit, it doesn't have to be anything mind-blowing. It doesn't have to be not J.J. Abrams, M. Night Shyamalan twist ending or anything. But
I actually don't understand the reference to him being such a great ending writer.
He hasn't written a good ending in a long time, but The Sixth Sense was a great ending.
Yeah, it was.
Everything else is pretty bad, especially Signs. That movie just makes me so mad. But anyway, I guess it doesn't have to be complex, but for what they were going for, I was like, okay, they're going to take me through this route, and you kind of know what's going to happen. But a good game. I give it. I'll say it scratches the itch for $15. Yeah. So that's all I wanted to say about that one.
Cool.
Sounds
like a fun game.
Yeah, I would try it if you could. I got it for free on the PlayStation Plus network. So.
Oh, okay. It's all you PlayStation Plusers.
I'm not sure if it's still there. I'd have to look. Which I will be looking to get that WildStar stuff.
Yeah.
Or, no, not WildStar. Wild Arms.
Wild Arms.
So that's it for me this week.
And me as well.
See you next week when we go over some more exciting gaming news. Maybe throw in some hot topics. And I might introduce a new segment.
Oh, yeah. Yep. All right, guys. I'm Eric.
I'm Spencer.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.